Why would someone leave a place that they called home for so long? For expats, it's a very tough decision to leave a place that they had settled into. A lot of the time, factors within that place drive expats away, and several of them are being driven away from Hong Kong. Today, we'll look at exactly why expats are leaving Hong Kong, and whether you should think twice before you move there. 10. It is way too crowded. A single ride on Hong Kong's bustling MTR during peak hours can be an eye-opener for you. After you've gotten through the initial 30 minutes of navigating through hordes of wary commuters, the city's energy can lose its appeal very quickly. Sure, the place is vibrant because of its people, but the overwhelming population figures makes the place feel suffocating for many. Hong Kong has more than 7.43 million inhabitants, which means that the city has 7,100 individuals per square kilometer. Additionally, if you look at Hong Kong Island, it houses 1.27 million residents, with the density coming up to 16,300 people per square kilometer. This can lead to massive housing issues. During the work week, the city witnesses an influx of hundreds of thousands heading to its major business districts. This means that around 4.815 million people are traveling by the MTR every single day, and the city's public transportation system struggles to accommodate these immense numbers, even though it's pretty advanced on its own. Adding to this crisis is the large number of tourists coming in. 58.47 million visitors arrive annually in Hong Kong, with 44.45 million coming from China alone. So living in Hong Kong means sharing the space not only with the locals, but also with the tourists. The infrastructure of the city is impressive, but it struggles when there are so many residents and visitors taking up space. 9. Excessive pollution. Air quality is a giant issue in Hong Kong, as it can sometimes get unbearable for the people living there. While some dismiss it as mere fog, others claim it has improved over the years, but the rest know that the air can be hazardous to breathe daily. A 2017 air quality review by the Clean Air Network showed that pollution levels in many Hong Kong areas exceeded World Health Organization standards on over 75% on any given day. Specific districts like Causeway Bay, Tuen Mun, and Kwun Tong had excessive levels of pollutants. The report even identified pollution black spots in busy areas like Tuen Mun, Kwai Chung, Causeway Bay, and Central. Because of this, people can experience symptoms like coughing, headaches, and lethargy, but it can get much worse. The health consequences of prolonged exposure to pollutants include cardiovascular diseases and lung issues. Plus, it can also increase cancer risk and birth defects. Blame is mostly placed on factors like using vehicles excessively, tall buildings trapping particles, or China's closeness. For newcomers from the US or UK, Canada, or Western Europe, the disparity in air quality will be immediately evident. After a while, it might become super unpleasant for these people to live day to day in a pollution-filled environment. 8. Rent is too high. You might see the Hong Kong property market making global headlines for its unforgiving sale prices and prevalent real estate flipping. Buying property is an unattainable dream for most of the people living there, but when it comes to renting, options vary according to your needs and expectations. Living in Hong Kong on a budget is possible, and you can find some pretty reasonable deals if you're willing to travel long distances to get to work. Young people sometimes choose shared living arrangements, which makes it comparatively cheaper. But if you have a family with you and are looking for a living arrangement of a 3-bedroom apartment, rent can be as high as $5,000 a month. And the expenses don't end there. There are government property taxes, stamp duty, and building management fees, so there's an additional 15% expenditure you have to consider. Many young Hong Kongers decide to live with their parents until they fully qualify for public housing discounts or marriage. Only expats with comfortable living packages will find residence in Hong Kong affordable. 7. You might make less money. You might assume that you'd make more money in Hong Kong due to lower taxes, which is true for non-Americans who enjoy Hong Kong's relatively low income tax rates, capped at 15% of net income. But the reality is far more complex than that. Despite tax advantages, you'll face a much higher cost of living, including housing, pricey nightlife, frequent dining out, and the lure of exploring Asian destinations. Additionally, flights to visit family and the expense of imported groceries can add up, impacting your savings. Educational costs for children, supporting a dependent partner, relocation expenses, and other factors contribute to the city's overall expensive nature. In the end, when you calculate your finances, you might find that your monthly savings aren't as beneficial as you expected them to be. It's crucial to consider these financial aspects when thinking of a move to Hong Kong. 6. Raising kids there is expensive. If you're jetting off to Hong Kong solo, it's going to be super easy for you to find your way around. You're the captain of your ship, and if things get tough, you can just leave anytime. Now, imagine tossing a family into the mix. It's a very different scenario. First off, your kids might not like Hong Kong life at all. If they're still young, they might not even know the difference. But teenagers will feel the most intense culture shock as soon as they move there. They could straight up resent the whole thing, which makes many people leave in the end. Plus, the houses you can snag in Hong Kong will be way smaller compared to the houses you have in your home country. Kids hate it when they don't have enough personal space. And don't get me started on getting a spot in a decent school. It's highly competitive, with extremely long wait lists that require you to go through a lot of hassle on your part. Once you do get your kids into school, tuition fees are no joke. It can cost you anywhere between 60 to 185,000 Hong Kong dollars per year, excluding the cost of textbooks, field trips, and whatever other fees they throw your way. This is a big reason why families move away from Hong Kong. Several other countries in the world offer free education, so why should they be emptying their pockets over here? 5. The weather is way too humid. A lot of people are into those summer vibes, and that's fine. Most people can tolerate temperatures hitting 35 degrees with no issues. But things get very unpleasant very quickly in Hong Kong. We're not talking about average temps. We're talking typhoon season and a solid 95% humidity punch from May to September. Whenever you're out, you will feel suffocated by the amount of water suspended in the air. Increased humidity makes the temperature feel higher, so while you sweat, your clothes are glued to your back. 2 minutes outside, and most people are running around to find an air-conditioned space to cool down. Most people decide to leave Hong Kong because that feeling of always needing a shower gets a bit too much to handle. Toss in crowded streets, a hectic work grind, and corporate attire, and you've got a Hong Kong heat saga that's anything but tolerable. 4. The huge language barrier. When you dive into the expat scene in Hong Kong, one would think that they should learn the language if they're planning to move. Surely, learning Cantonese is the golden ticket to fitting in, but life gets in the way. Some people are swamped post-work, and others are on a short gig thinking they'll only scratch the language basics. Plus, Chinese dialects are no walk in the park, and one can get intimidated even before one starts the learning process. Back in the day, this was never an issue. English is an official language in Hong Kong, which means that you could get by pretty easily without learning the language. But in recent years, a lot of the locals aren't learning English anymore. This inevitably created an expat bubble, where they can't really connect with the locals anymore. They can only hang out with fellow expats, which can get very exhausting very soon. Most people start craving their homeland, and many of them eventually decide to leave. 3. Everything is about money. This might feel like a generalization, but what most expats feel is that Hong Kong is obsessed with money. Everyone is always thinking of ways they can make more money so they can buy more fancy things. Streets are covered with billboards showing ads of things you should be buying. Plus, you don't even have to go out of your way to buy something. Everywhere you go, you'll see malls, boutiques, and department stores. Shopping can be a super fun activity for people who are only visiting for a while. But if a person living there is already under the burden of their massive cost of living, the consumerist culture doesn't hold any appeal. Plus, many of the expats are depressed by the large disparity between the classes in Hong Kong. While many can afford expensive lifestyles, others live in cage homes in industrial buildings. This off-putting experience eventually makes many leave, especially the ones who want a slower-paced life. 2. No work-life balance. In Hong Kong, the expression of work hard, play hard is super popular. But does it hold any truth? If you look at the experiences of the expats, most of them would tell you that there's simply no time to play. The working culture in the country is very intense, especially if you're in the finance industry. Many people find themselves staying in offices even past midnight, and they simply don't get the time to enjoy their earnings. Plus, employers are obsessed with timelines, and they keep track of when you leave. This can feel restrictive for many people, especially ones who have worked in progressive work environments before. This makes them leave in the hopes of finding a country with a friendlier work environment. 1. Hong Kong is turning into China. Many expats move there hoping to experience a mix of Western and Eastern cultures. But once there, they realize that China has a large amount of influence on Hong Kong society. Many residents fear Hong Kong getting forced into the Pearl River Delta economy, which will completely ruin the cultures, traditions, and language in Hong Kong. In short, Hong Kong might begin to look like a mainland Chinese city, and many people decide to leave before that prediction becomes a reality. Do you think Hong Kong is worth staying in? Let us know in the comments down below. And if you liked this video, do us a solid and smash that like button. Make sure to subscribe so you'll be the first to know about more upcoming content. And buckle up, folks, because there's a lot we have in store for you.